Hey guys, how's it going? It's been a little bit since I recorded. Sorry, my hair's a mess. Um, since I recorded a video, but I was actually recording something for class, and I had to post it unlisted on this YouTube channel. So I thought, what better of an opportunity to record a video? Um, yeah, as you can see, I actually got my hands on some new mics. They're pretty cool. They're like Rode mic kind of thing. Um, so thanks, Dad. My dad gave them to me, which was super nice. So yeah, I know this is kind of what my last video was, but I just in general, in the spirit of a reading update, I want to talk a little bit about everything that's been going on, not just book haul, but I do really like to do the book haul videos. I guess one might even call me more of a librarian than a reader. Uh, but yeah, hang on. I'm gonna put on a hat really quick. It's a bit better. Um, yeah. So without further ado, let's go through a little bit of these books that I have hauled. It's just the worst way of putting it, but so first off, I wanted to say recently I had the privilege of seeing two really great authors read their work at my school, and that would be Kay Iver, who is really just an amazing poet, and I really recommend checking out their work. Short film starring my beloved's Red Bronco is, it is deeply, deeply affecting me currently, and hearing them read it aloud was spectacular. Similar for Lena Valencia, what an amazing tone this author has, and I would love for you all to experience it. I mean, the stories speak for themselves, but if you can find a video of Lena reading, just a very genuine person, was seemingly the vibe that I got from them. But I found it to be accurate after I got the book signed, both of them actually, by two really wonderful people, wonderful authors as well, of course. But yeah, so I guess in that spirit, I would love to take you guys through some books that I have recently obtained for a class that I am taking this semester about medieval myth and how that feeds into modern narrative. The first one I'd like to talk about, or I guess the first two really that I'll talk about that we read first in the class syllabus, was the Saga of the Volsungs, which I got the Penguin Classics edition. This was actually a little bit more of a robust version than the one that he posted for free on Elms. But I wanted to get a hand copy, and I saw they had Penguin Classics, and that's just always a good way to spend money for me. The next one that we really dove into was the Poetic Edda. This was the version that he was using, so I was able to actually get a physical copy, and I had a lot of fun with this class, or with this book. And as you can see, the second half we didn't really dive into too much. I would love to dive into it more myself after I sort of get through this semester. But yeah, I mean, it's really great stuff. I mean, it's really just interesting, and it's really cool to read Northern European mythology, since that's a really inaccessible part of history, and by no means more inaccessible than other cultures that have obviously suffered a lot more of their history being taken away. But it is interesting to see pre-Christian mythology, theology, or just narratives across the board. So I really liked that that was the place that we started. After that, we moved into Beowulf, which I've read Beowulf for a couple different classes, particularly my Tolkien class that I took, and that was a lot of fun. But this one also was really fun. This is the Chickering Oxford Classic translation. And yeah, I would say this was the first time I was really able to dive as deep as I would have liked to into Beowulf. And it's really nice, like in college, just in general, getting to higher and higher classes and getting to talk to people who are more and more interested in the actual topic, which I know is like, I don't know, kind of the whole point of a lot of things in college is to sort of meet people that have similar tastes or to meet people that will get you out of your comfort zone. But it is nice to not be sort of 50-50 people who are taking it for the credit and people who are taking it for the class. For it to be more people who are like, yeah, the credit's nice, but I'm actually interested in the topic. So anyway, right now we are reading Le Morte d'Arthur, and we're pretty much going through the whole thing of this. I'm actually really behind on the reading for this, and this weekend I told myself I was going to catch up with it, so I need to get on that. But we just read about the origins of Sir Galahad, whose father is Sir Lancelot, I believe. Anyway, it's been really cool stuff. This was another acquisition recently for that class. We're going to be reading later in that class as well book 2 of C.S. Lewis's space trilogy, Paralandra. However, we won't be reading Out of the Silent Planet or That Hideous Strength, but I think if I have some time, I'm going to read the first one, Out of the Silent Planet, in advance, just so that I can get the full experience. I hope it's not an intentional thing, because he did say that it was all right to read the other ones if we wanted to, but I don't know if he wants us to read the second one first. I don't know why that would make sense, although I don't know much about the Space Trilogy by C.S. Lewis, so I guess we'll see. Yeah, that was part of actually a big order that I did off of Pango Books, which Pango Books I can't recommend to you guys enough, actually. I think it is an awesome way to buy secondhand books. A lot of places, shops on that site will do like sales. Like they'll do free shipping if you spend over like $30 or something like that. Except low-key, it's kind of hard to spend like $30 because they'll list all the books for really cheap. So, but either way, you get like 10 books for like $20, which is awesome because usually it's like $20 per book nowadays. Anyway, I did a big book order off of that though, and some of those books were a part of it. But the ones that weren't for a class that I did in the order just because I wanted to was Black Coffee by Agatha Christie. It's another Hercule Poirot. It's actually the next one. Oh, I didn't realize how big the print is in this, actually, for such a small version. That's nice. Makes me excited to read it, actually, because I'm going to fly through it, I hope. But yeah, so this is sort of the next one in my Agatha Christie journey, which I'm still very much on. Never fret, I will always have one of those on deck. Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro. I've never read Remains of the Day. I know it's like a really big one by this author. And I'm really looking forward to diving into it. I know that the books can be pretty sad and sort of heart-wrenching, but honestly, I kind of like to read stuff like that anyway. So we'll see how that goes. Next we have Mark Twain, The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. I think it kind of speaks for itself. And I say that because I've never read it. I've actually been really wanting to dive into Mark Twain for a really long time. Funnily enough, from a rewatch of Ted Lasso. So if you know, you know. I wanted to dive into some of that, and I ended up ordering it because it was on the same shop that I was ordering all these other ones off of. And I tend to, when I use Pango, I like to order off of one shop when I'm gonna do like a bigger order. Like anything more than one, I will try to get it all from the same shop because it saves a lot. So, but yeah. Next, I guess I will talk about a book that I also got for my class, but also is a little bit of a guilty pleasure, and a little bit of like a brag, I guess, a brag about my degree of separation from something that I find really cool. Um, J.R.R. Tolkien, Battle of Mountain with the Homecoming of Beorhtnoth, um, edited by Peter Grabowskis. Now, Peter Grabowskis, Prof. G as I know him, was a teacher of mine and still somebody who I talk to very often. He is a professor at the English department of my school, and so I try to pop in and say hi to him. But I went on a trip with him to Oxford to talk about J.R.R. Tolkien and the places he grew up and where C.S. Lewis and him first met and the Inklings. And we read Lord of the Rings when we did it, and it was amazing. It was one of the most amazing experiences of my life. So hoping to get that signed by him soon. But I read it for uh, the same class. Yeah, we just finished that right before diving into Le Morte d'Arthur. But we were very quick with that one. Next thing I want to talk about was some comics. So I'm not sure if I showed it to you guys, but I think it's buried under some stuff right now. But the new Batman run, I got number 2 and number 3. I have already read and purchased issue number 1, and I really am enjoying the team, Fraction and Jimenez, Matt Fraction and Jorge Jimenez, that is. It's really good stuff. I love the costume design. It's spectacular. However, spoilers for those who don't know, not major spoilers for the plot or anything, just a detail, is that I think Tim Drake, who that Robin is sort of retiring from being Robin only 3 issues into the series. So that's a little bit upsetting. He's my favorite Robin, but we're going to push through together, and just excited with the art direction and the story direction so far. So another really big comic book recently, Absolute Batman. So I have the first volume, and I went to the comic book store and got the second volume. Really a fan of what's going on with this comic series. I mean, it's hard to get excited about someone doing like a more gritty rendition of Batman when it feels like that's been done to death. And then this comic came out, and it was like just incredibly original while also being incredibly in tune with some of like the best and some fan favorite Batman adaptations and comic book runs. So that's just a really cool thing to be able to do. I mean, Scott Snyder, right? He is one of the most prolific Batman writers, and I'm glad to see that he's still working with the character. There have been some good points lately, actually, that I've seen in various communities that Snyder can be a little bit more Joker-centric than other writers. Like, Joker can kind of become everything to his stories. And I'm hoping that that's not what happens with Absolute Batman. However, with the ending of Absolute Batman Volume 1, I think it was like issue 5 or 6, there was that teaser of just an insane Joker design. So at the same time, I'm really interested in that. So either way that it goes, I think I'll be happy. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for the hauls. In terms of what I'm reading right now, I'll grab it back out for you guys, but Le Morte d'Arthur is honestly what I've got my teeth sunk into for school. But I'm also reading, let me grab it really quick, it's right here. There's also a new shelf that I got. I really, really like it. My girlfriend got it for me for Christmas. But A Song of Ice and Fire Book 3. I've got like one of the chubby ones. But yeah, just been reading this. I am around 400 pages in, I think. I honestly haven't read it in the last couple of days because I've been behind on that reading. Yeah. Yeah. Lord Beric. Yeah. Beric Dondarrion and all that. Men with No Banners. Yeah, so I've been reading that, and also currently reading in the comic world, Batman Under the Red Hood. I've actually been on this for a while. I haven't had much energy to read comics just because um, I've been a lot more on the go lately, and it's easier to have like a paperback to pull out somewhere. Um, yeah, it's just easier for me at least. But honestly, this is good inspiration to finish this tonight because I want to get started on V for Vendetta. Because I'm like equally far into both of those, but I told myself I'd finish Under the Red Hood first so that my friend could borrow it. But yeah, I think that's about it. I'm also still working on Dubliners by James Joyce, taking a little bit of time away from that just because I want to give it the attention it deserves, I think. And also, as the new semester has started up, I have begun game mastering or dungeon mastering for another D&D campaign. Which, by the way, if you're not into Dungeons and Dragons, I cannot recommend it highly enough. It is one of the most fun experiences I've ever had in my life, and the more and more free time I get moving through college, or moving out of college, not moving through college. I had less and less as I moved through it, but now that I'm moving out of it, I will be making it a priority in my life. It's really just one of the most fun experiences that I've ever had. So yeah, group storytelling is a blast. I've been reading a ton of lore about the Forgotten Realms and specifically the Sword Coast because that's where my next campaign that is about to start this Thursday is going to be taking place in. I know a little basic. Some OG players might be like, oh, that's that 2024 5e stuff, and like you should do one in Eberron or like maybe even Greyhawk or something, or make your own. And you're right. No, but I have a lot of fun no matter what, and I'm really new to dungeon mastering, and so we're just gonna do Sword Coast because we have a couple of new players, um, but we're not doing any particular pre-built campaign like we did last semester. We're just gonna dive right in and just explore the world and see what happens as we go. Sort of let the story build in the direction that the players are playing. So I'll still be doing a lot of writing for it though. So yeah, I think that's about all I have for you guys. I mean, yeah, I think that's it. I will have to do a video soon recapping sort of what I've been reading. I think that'll be a long, long video. But I'm hoping to make more of these videos now. So I definitely have got the setup that really works for me and I can be proud of and is super low maintenance as well. So I really, really hope that that goes well. But anyway, I will see you guys soon, I hope. Let me know if there's any videos that you guys in particular want to see. Maybe I can talk a bit more about what it's like reading for school versus maintaining like a reading sort of personal life at home, which has been a really hard thing for me to figure out. But I've actually been having some conversations lately with friends at school about that very same thing, and so yeah, I think that can be an interesting thing to talk about. But cool. Hope you guys are reading. Hope you guys are writing if you enjoy that. And check out my Substack. A lot of my writing is on there. I'm actually about to post a new draft of this story that I wrote a while ago. It's one of my favorites. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. And I will catch you on the next one. Bye.